ahead of what's expected to be an explosive week in the Canada-U.S. relationship. President Donald Trump returning to Washington, poised to make his final decision on tariffs. There are new suggestions. The tariff threat may not be as severe as initially promised.
That is a fluid situation. There are going to be tariffs on Tuesday on Mexico and Canada. Exactly what they are, we're going to leave that for the president and his team to negotiate.
Trump has threatened a 25% tariff on Canadian goods, a lower 10% tariff on Canadian energy, a 25% tariff on Mexico, and an additional 10% tariff on China. On Fox News, the Commerce Secretary repeatedly saying the numbers could change.
Exactly what they're going to be, I'm going to leave that for the president to decide. He's got great advisors. I'm obviously at the table with him.
While the Trump administration says these tariffs are about improving border security, the goalposts continue to shift. The latest demand, the Treasury Secretary says Canada and Mexico should impose tariffs on China.
The Mexican leadership has offered to do that. We haven't heard from the Canadians, but I think that'd be a very good start.
Trump had initially warned Americans to brace for tariff-related cost increases, but now he's dismissing concerns that his plan will make life more expensive.
It's a myth. It's a myth that's put out there by foreign countries that really don't like paying tariffs.
And Trump's allies are supporting the tariff plan, complaining that North American free trade has enabled job growth in Mexico at America's expense.
When you look at the fact that Michigan is seeing its opportunities pass by, enough is enough. The status quo is not good enough for Americans, which is why Donald Trump got elected. And frankly, even our allies have not been playing a fair game.
Whatever Trump finally decides, he will sell his decision to Americans during his major address to Congress on Tuesday night.
And Katie, this isn't the only tariff threat Canada is tracking.
Yeah, this week it's the border security tariff threat. Next week it's tariffs on steel and aluminum. And then the first week of April, it's the broader tariffs targeting all U.S. trading partners, including Canada. Trump's threats are destabilizing. It's unpredictable, and there are no signs he wants it any other way.
Katie Simpson in Washington. As Canada waits, the Prime Minister vows the country will respond if Trump follows through. JP Tasker on the uncertainty ahead and why some say this moment is about more than tariffs.
U.S. President Donald Trump could plunge the Canadian economy into a recession with the stroke of his pen on Tuesday. For border town businesses like Sunrise Greenhouses, a 25% tariff could be especially devastating.
The impact will be in the millions.
Half of the company's flowers are sold into the U.S. Now they could be priced out.
We are taking the threat very seriously and trying to be very proactive.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is promising to hit the U.S. with retaliatory tariffs the minute Trump launches his threatened trade war.
We will have a strong, unequivocal, and proportional response as Canadians expect.
But the federal government is still holding out hope its border crackdown will appease Trump's concerns about drugs and migrants. And Canada has the data on its side. The quantity of fentanyl seized at the northern border has dropped 97% in the last month alone.
Border service officers are motivated to try and find more, are motivated to try and stop anything from going to the U.S.
Still, Canadians are nervous and angry. Consider this response to the Star-Spangled Banner at a WWE Stadium show in Toronto this weekend.
We can't rely on him, and we can't rely on the Americans anymore.
Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre says Canada should pull back from the U.S., whatever Trump does next.
We need to take back control of our economy and bring home a strong, self-reliant and sovereign nation.
Jean Charest, now one of Trudeau's trade advisors, says Canadians need to band together like never before.
No one's going to stand up for us in the way that we have to stand up for ourselves.
Canada's head of state hasn't said a word about Trump's taunts. Trudeau is expected to meet with King Charles on Monday. The main focus of that conversation, threats to Canadian sovereignty. JP Tasker, CBC News, Ottawa.